What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. This is Web Dev Journey, and today we're going to be setting up our front end so that way we could implement our authentication features on the front end in the next video. But in this video, we're going to be setting up our front end. I know it's not that very exciting, but it needs to be done, and I don't want the video or this video to be that long. That's why I'm separating the two, right? Just setting it up and then doing our authentication feature in the next video. So inside our main file or folder, I'm going to be using the simple create react app. So npx create slash react slash app. I keep on saying slash, it's dash. I'm gonna name mine client. And this is going to take a while, so I'll get back once this is done. All right, so it just got done. So what I'm gonna do now is cd into client and then yarn start, so that way we could actually see that it's running, right? And here it is on my part. Oh, it's gonna take a while because it's building everything first, but there it is. There it is. Now we see that it's actually running, which is great. We have a simple React application. All right, now we want to modify it so that way we have the simple things out of the way right now, okay? So inside client, inside source, what I'm gonna do is actually create a folder, and I'm gonna call this pages. And this is going to hold all the pages that our application is going to have. Pages such as like the login page, the home page, the profile page, right? The, I guess notifications page as well, right? So yeah, let's click on pages, and then inside pages, we're going to create a new file. I'm going to call this home.js and then app. I'm going to copy everything inside of app.js because it's essentially the same thing. I just need to remove some stuff. We're not using any of that. We're not going to be using any of this. And then what I'm going to do is say Control DD, home, lowercase on this one, home. And I'm gonna add a H1. I'm say home page. There we go. Now we have a home page. I want to just copy this, or yeah, just copy this, copy, and then do it 2 more times for our login. So new file, login.js, and then profile.js. All right, paste that. DDDD profile, control save, and then our login, paste, login. All right, pretty simple, right? We only have three right now, 3 pages: our login, our home, and profile. That is it. Now what I want to do is create a new folder called components, and this is going to hold all the components that we're essentially going to build out. Maybe it's going to be like a Twitter card, you know, those little cards that show you the tweet that they did, that, or in this case we're going to be doing our nav.js. This is going to be the nav, obviously. So inside nav, it's going to be the exact same. Do I still have it on my clipboard? Yeah, I do. Okay, it's going to be the same thing, but I'm gonna call this nav. And then nav. Don't know why. Actually, we could actually have a nav element, and we don't even need the class name to be nav, but what the hell? Let's just put it there. And I'm gonna be, well, okay. Now, since we're into the nav, we are going to be using nav link. So we do need to install cd client npm I react -router -dom. This is the module that holds basically everything that we need to actually make this our navigation work. So I'm gonna import that. Well, it's going to do it by itself. Anyways, down below, we're gonna actually create an H3. And I'm gonna just say logo, just in case you do have a logo. We'll have a logo, right? And then right here, div with the class name of, we're gonna set this equal to nav underscore links. And inside of this is where we're going to have our links to all the different pages that we want to link to, right? To navigate to. So nav is not done. I was actually waiting for this to get done. Anyways, all right. In here, we're going to have a nav link. And it's going to be our login, or it's going to have basically all our components. For login, we want that to go to the /. We're going to make our login the home page. I think that's good, right? We're going to have home. Going to be home. And then we're going to have profile, which is going to be profile. All right, control save. All right, now we have our nav component, right? Now what we want to do is set up a router. So inside of source, I'm gonna create a new file. It's going to routes.js. And this is basically going to tell React where to route our pages. So if we wanted to go to the / where exactly, or what component should we be rendering to for the / for / home, what component should we be rendering, and all that stuff, right? Let me get rid of all this, and then it's going to be called Control D. Oh man, routes R, and this is going to be a div. All right, so now we have our routes. And guys, none of this should be new. I always say that in these videos. None of this should be new. You should already know. If you kept up with me, you should know exactly what I'm doing. So we're going to be importing a few things. So up above, we're going to import from router react. Dude, did I import this? Let me actually grab this. I don't think I imported it in a nav. Yeah, okay, I didn't do it. We need to import nav link from React. Okay, and here we're gonna need a couple of things. We're gonna need browser, router, and I'm gonna rename this as router. Here, it's going to be common to see this when they rename it. So I'm gonna rename it as router. We're also going to need a switch. We're also going to need a route, and I think that's it for right now. Anyways. And then what we need to do is import all of the pages that we're going to be using. So import, we're going to be using nav, and we're going to import that from /components/nav. All right, I'm going to just paste that down, and this is going to be home, and it's not from components, it's actually from pages. And then I'm just, what is this, like 2 more times, right, for login and profile? Yeah, or actually log in. I like to keep it in a organized way where what I'm gonna be using first, and then profile. You'll see what I'm talking about. All right, so right here, this is where we're going to do our routes, or use the router. So router. And then we're going to incorporate our nav right here. So that way we have our nav in every single page. And then we're going to do a switch. And then inside of switch, we're going to do route. We're going to do route exact. Yes, exact path is going to be equal to /, and we want to render the component is going to be log in, and this is going to nothing. We don't have to put nothing there. Do this 2 more times, and then path home is going to be for home, and then profile is going to be profile. All right, cool. Now we have that. In our index.js, this is where everything happens, the magic happens, right? So instead of app, we want to get rid of this. Or not the CSS. What we want to, wait, hold on. Where's my routes right here? Did I export? Okay, routes. Okay, cool. So inside of index.js, we want to import routes from, and I think it's from, let me see. Where is it at? Dude, where is it at? It should be in here, right? It should be. I don't see it. Dude, I didn't see it. What the? Okay, so I gotta say. Oh, there it is. What? Did you see it, guys? I didn't see it. I didn't see it in that drop down. I must be going blind. And then we're gonna do routes right here. Okay, control save. And we could actually clean some of these things off. We're not gonna use the app CSS, app.js, app.test, or setup test. We're not gonna use any of that. Yes, I want to delete those. We are going to be no, not even the logo. We're going to be using, right? Index.css, yes. I mean, you can switch it if you want. As a matter of fact, if you want to use Sass, let's do that right now. If you want to use Sass, all you need to do is npm node dash or I node dash Sass, and this is going to obviously download the Sass from Node, and you could just literally change this to CSS or Sass and start using Sass right off the bat. It's actually pretty nice, and I'll show you that in a bit. Once it's okay, that's done. So let me just change this, rename to SCSS, and then inside of index, instead of this, I'm going to say SCSS. Control save, and let's go in here. Control A. And what I'm gonna do is just say H1, so that way you know it actually works. We're gonna do color to red. That's it. Okay. All right. Cool. So we have everything set up. We have our routes, we have our nav, and we have our pages set up. So what we could do now is actually take a look. Check this out, and you see that it's actually working, right? Login page. So login, and then the home, and then the profile page. And we do need to rename. Did I do something wrong? Let me see. Our components, no, not components, pages, profile. It should say profile page, so it has to be in our routes. Profile, okay, our index, or where's our nav? Dude, okay, why is it not going to then profile? Login, home page, and then slash profile. I'm pretty sure I don't get an error. Why? Let me refresh. Okay, that's weird. That is really weird. I bet. There it is, profile. God damn it. I knew it. I knew something was wrong. I could just feel it. All right, there it is. So we have our basic, I guess, setup, as you could say, for our application. Now, the one thing I do want to do before we actually just, finish the video is actually use a hook called context. All right. And this is going to give us a sense of a global data wherever we want it to be. Now, if you don't know about hooks, I highly recommend you actually look hooks up. They're actually easy to learn and to understand. And there's actually great YouTube videos that show you exactly how those things work. So I'm not going to be going over hooks. I'm assuming from here on out, you know hooks. There might be some hooks that you don't know. Like, I don't know all of them, nor do I use all of them. But there are some hooks that I do use. All right. But we're going to be using context. Make sure to look that up to have a sense of, like I said, a global data wherever we need it. Right. And we're going to set that up right now. And I'll explain in the next video. All right. But anyways, let's go back to our code. And we're going to create another file inside of source. And this is going to be called user context.js. And basically in here, we're going to import, since we're going to be using context, so we need to import create context from React. There it is. And all we're going to do is export const user context, and we're going to set that equal to create context, and the initial value for user context is going to be null. Right? All right. So right now we're just setting up a context, and that our user context, our initial value is going to be null. Okay. All right. Inside of router now, we're going to be using that user context. So what we need to do is actually import user context from where is it at? User context right there. And okay, so how user context works, or how we're going to make it globally, is basically we're going to wrap our routes around user context. All right, so user context, just like so. And don't worry, we're going to be doing a few more things to this. There we go. All right. Oh, nope. All right. So our user context comes with methods that we could use, and we're going to be using the .provide. Oh, what happened there? .provider. For this, basically, this is going to give, anytime our user context changes, is going to notify our routes, and they, hey, basically, it's going to subscribe our routes to any user context changes, right? And we're going to set the value for this equal to hello from context. Now this value is actually, once we say value equals, it's going to bind whatever is inside of value. In this case, it's a string. It's going to bind the string into the user context. Right now we set it to null, right? But over here we actually set it to hello from context. And you're going to see exactly how this is going to be global, right? So like I said, now the childs of user context have access to this value right here. So all we have to do is let's go to a child real quick. Let's go to login. And since we are going to be still needing to use the user context, well, actually, I'm hoping that it's going to auto complete that. So that's why I left it out. So anyways, we're going to create a const inside of here, const, and we're going to set this equal to MSG. It doesn't really matter. I'm just saying message for right now, right? And we're going to set that equal to use context, right? And we're using the user context. So user context. And no, it didn't import it, but it imported use context, I guess. So import, we do need to get user context from user context. There we go. All right. So we still need to import user context because we're still using it, right? User context it's the thing that holds the value, that value. And all we're doing is saying that, hey, we're going to grab the message. So we need to use the context and pass in the context that we want to use, which is in this case, the user context. Now we have access to that message. If I go down here, if I do a p tag for right now, and I'm going to type in MSG, control save this. Now let's take a look at our, what was it, in the login page, right? Login, and look at this. Hello from context. And we can actually do this for every, like, let's go to home, let's do that as well. And let's go right here. Control Z. Right there. And then right here, P, M, S, MSG. And we do need to import use context. All right. I'm just copy this, save this. Now let's do that to profile. Paste. Grab this. Dude, I'm copy and paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. That's all. Paste, control save. All right, now let's take a look at our application. Just refresh the page for good measure. So login has it, our home page has it, and our profile page has it. Now you might be wondering why. Okay, what's the point for that? Okay, this sets us up for our storing our user. How are we going to store our user in our front end? Remember, Twitter is literally user based, right? So every page that they go to is specifically for them. I think I don't use Twitter that much, but I'm pretty sure it's specifically for them. So we need to have access to user at all times in our front end, so that way we get the correct information for our user, right? So basically, when they go to the home page, it's going to be it's going to have all of the I guess tweets of users that they're following, right? But that's their tweets. I mean, the people that they're following, not the people other people are following. For that, we need access to their user ID, so that way we get that information. This sets that up for us. And don't worry, you will understand more about it in the next video, because we're going to be storing our user in our front end, okay? Not with sessions, not with cookies, because we can't read, or we can, but we shouldn't. We can't really read cookies, right? Especially the session ID, because we can't decrypt it, unencrypt it. What? We can't, you know what I'm talking about, right? We can't unencrypt that session ID. It's encrypted from the back end. The back end, this is the only one that could decrypt it, uncrypt it, whatever, right? So this sets us up for that. You'll know about it more in the next video. I just wanted to set up all this, our login, our homepage and profile. We just wanted to set all this up for the next video. Okay, so that was it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know you probably didn't learn that much, but if you did, hey, hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.